Well, I hate to interrupt the wonderful conversation, but let's get our celebration going, shall we? So good morning, everybody. Are we in food coma? Yes. Good morning, everybody. All right. It's so great to see you all here. And again, I echo Dr. Kroom's remarks as just a great weekend on campus and a great opportunity to celebrate our alums. I come to you today as the Executive Vice President at Judson University. My name is Nikki Fennern, and it is my honor to welcome you all here today. Congratulations, of course, to Sarah, to Carissa, and to Rich. I hope that this day just brings back just so many great memories for all of you. And I wish you great joy as you celebrate your team success, your role as mentors, your role as leaders, your role as scholar athletes here at Judson. And whether you're here in person or virtually, Sarah, we welcome you, and it's great to have the Judson family back together again. So I've had the honor and privilege of working within and alongside intercollegiate athletics for over 25 years in my career in higher education. And I'm honored to say this is my 20th time being involved in a Hall of Fame ceremony. And each one is incredibly special because the stories that we hear, what comes alongside each of you and your memories is just very, very special. So I'm happy that you can celebrate with your family and your friends, your teammates, and all of us. So I'm sure that our Hall of Fame people can really attest a lot of valuable life lessons, yes? Learned from athletics, literal blood, sweat, and tears that have been shed through your time with your teammates, things that happen on the field of competition, off the field of competition, all develop who we are as people. And we take those life lessons with us all along, including the college bonds that come along. We know that it's hard to take that jersey off for the last time. So whether it was yesterday was your last game or 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, whenever that is, it's hard to take that jersey off for the last time. And so many sacrifices that you make along the way. But I want you to remember this. The sacrifices that you've made continue to be a gift. And I want to quote Adoniram Judson, the namesake of Judson University. Adoniram Judson says, if you succeed without sacrifice, it's because someone has suffered before you. If you sacrifice without success, it is because someone will succeed after you. I love that quote. It's one of my favorites. And so for athletes, we know that in the first part, if you succeed without sacrifice, it's because someone has suffered before you. We understand that we're not able to succeed without the sacrifice of others. So you all know that somebody went before you. Somebody made the sacrifice before you so that you could be where you're at. And now you have made sacrifices so that others can be where you are right now. And we truly thank you for that. And it leads us to the second half. If you sacrifice without success, it's because someone will succeed afterwards. So it's really hard to say that if you're inducted into the Hall of Fame that you didn't have some success, right? You've all had great success. But what we know is that you're leading and putting a path forward for other people to be successful after you. So your success is leading to the success of others. And so what we know is you've laid a foundation. All of our Hall of Famers, all of our alumni, whether they're in the Hall of Fame or not, have laid a foundation for our current scholar athletes at Judson. And they're thriving. They're thriving right now. We continue to build athletes who are rooted in Christ and who are committed their lives to Him. This is what we're doing in intercollegiate athletics at Judson University. A couple of other highlights. Our Fellowship of Christian Athletes has more participation each year and continues to thrive. We're running out of room in the room that we hold that meeting in. That's a great problem to have. We have 2 of our coaches who have been named to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Northwest Chicago Coach of the Year. Most recently and with us right now is our current softball coach, Laura Starkey. So let's give Laura a great round of applause. Thank you for your leadership of our scholar athletes. Our athletes continue to come from all over the country and the world, enhancing the cultural diversity on our campus and just leading to great experiences for all of us. They earn team and individual awards, and our teams are competing well. Couple of highlights. All right, Coach Riegel is with us today, our men's baseball team in the NCCAA World Series last spring. Congratulations, Coach, on that baseball team success. Our women's soccer team was the national runner-up in the NCCAA National Championship. And yes, let's give them a round of applause as well. And we culminate with our men's soccer team winning an NCCAA National Championship last fall. So what a great year. And so just know this is the foundation that our alum have laid for us. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for that. And we thank you for all that you have done. We're on the move. Athletics is on the move, but we know it's not possible without people like you. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your commitment. Sarah, Carissa, Rich, we're thankful for you and are thankful that God placed you at Judson University. Welcome to the elite membership in the Judson University Hall of Fame. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce another Hall of Famer, our athletic director, Rick Williams. Let's give Rick a round of applause.
Nikki, for those opening remarks. Thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon. It's my pleasure to kind of serve as sort of MC for the day, help us get from one inductee to the next. But, it is my honor as the athletic director to be the person who makes the call to say, congratulations, we'd like to honor you. And so I just want to say before we get started, it is just a great honor for me when you guys say yes. Thank you so much. I know we're here to honor you, but you honor us by accepting, and we're excited to celebrate you today. I also want to take some time to thank my current athletes, right? I know what it's like to be in college. You guys got a lot going on. And for you to take some time and bring some youthful presence to our ceremony today, we really appreciate it. So thank you so much for coming. And then I think it's worth it, before we get started, to thank the people that put this together. So Kristen and your team, and Tim Kimberg for being here, and our SID, Nick. Give them a round of applause for the work they're doing. Now, the other thing I want to do is honor some other current Hall of Famers that are here. And one of my favorite verses in the Bible is in 1 Corinthians 9:24 and 25. And Paul writes that, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever." Now, the reason why that's one of my favorite verses in the Bible, it's one of the few times in which you see a direct reference to the fact that athletics has been happening since as long as we can remember. This idea of competing and using God's gifts to do things and to try to win right here while we're on earth is not new to us as modern athletes. But Paul encourages us to not do it for these things. So as cool as this is probably one of the greatest honors you can have, especially as an athlete here at Judson. It is still not the reason why we did what we did, or what we do. To achieve greatness, in my humble opinion, you've got to have a sense of a greater purpose. And so I just want to encourage my current athletes to remember that, to dig into something deeper than just winning or losing on a particular day or trying to reach a particular stat. But do it for things that last forever, that it's to the glory of God. And so that is the essence of our Hall of Fame ceremony that I, again, have the pleasure to MC. But first, I want to honor a couple of other Hall of Famers that are here. I understand he is the very first athletic director and basketball coach. A round of applause for Steve Kimmery. If you would stand, please. And then my good friend, a outstanding volleyball player in her time as well, Jennifer Alderson, is here. Now, last year, if you guys were here, someone yelled at me. It was like, "You forgot me." So if there's anybody here that is in the Hall of Fame that we did not see, I didn't think. Okay, just want to make sure. All right. And so I believe I go to introducing our first. Are we going with Sarah first? This is awesome. So to introduce Sarah is our current softball coach, Laura Starkey.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you for everybody for being here. It's a really great day. It's exciting to celebrate Judson softball here, but all the athletics and the achievements of everybody. I'm honored as an alumni of Judson and softball alumni to be able to introduce Sarah and have been given some brief comments from her coach at the time, Becky Pearl, and what she had to say about Sarah as an athlete here at Judson. First and foremost, she says congratulations to Sarah. She is so proud of her. Sarah is a talented, kind servant leader. She's always wanted the ball and always wanted to do her best. An obvious reason why she's still succeeding today. She would finish one game and look at me, can we go for another? She was a leader on our team. She would be the first to congratulate her teammates and pretty much the first to hold them accountable, of course, after the coach. I can't say enough good things about her talent and how it grew. It wasn't always easy, but she worked hard, and because of that hard work, she really did well. She had a smile that could light up the room, and I wish she could go, I'm sorry, and I wish we got to see more of her, but I'm so proud of what she has accomplished on the field and in life. So, Sarah, she is so very happy for you. Congratulations, and we are so happy for you. Thank you for paving the way for Judson University softball, for being part of the team that won the first conference championship. As the head coach now, I look forward to winning much more based on your legacy you left, Sarah. Thank you.
So Sarah, I'm going to hand your plaque and your medallion over to your family. So,
Thank you.
yes, congratulations. Thank you, Carol.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Coach, for that introduction. Or I don't know if I'm supposed to start yet. Okay, great. Right? It's hard to do this so far away. Thank you, everyone, for including me in this. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that introduction. Thanks for reaching out to Coach Becky. I really appreciate that. Through the eras, there have been many talented athletes, and I'm honored to be put forth even as the preliminary candidate, so I really appreciate the nod. I came to Judson in quite an unusual manner. I actually wasn't planning on going to college. I was planning on joining the Peace Corps. And as a 17-year-old, the Peace Corps said, no, dummy, you have no skills. Come back when you've got some skills. Well, that was in January of my senior year of high school. As a now first-generation college graduate, my parents were less than qualified to support, to guide, or even if I had applied to any schools. I had, however, made a skills video with my travel softball team, which was a series of burned CDs recorded on a camcorder on some practice fields that we, the teenagers, were meant to send off to universities. I also participated in college showcases, both with my team and as an individual player, but alas, every letter or invitation that came in the mail after those events, I shoved to the side because I wasn't going to college. Once my dad caught wind of the plans, now after hearing back from the Peace Corps, the lack of plans, he was determined to have me play college ball. He had spent countless hours after work with me in the backyard, on spare fields, in gymnasiums in the middle of winter, in the car on the way to games and practices, going through pitch counts and at-bats to learn how to throw a game, and coaching my little league and travel ball games. Later, he would come to every game within driving distance and record the games on that same camcorder. He captured some of my proudest moments, most crushing defeats, and the words of support from the sidelines. He knew I was capable and wanted me to continue. I too wasn't ready to give up, I just didn't know it yet. After a few tryouts at a couple other schools that my coach had pulled some strings for, the last one was Judson. A 6 a.m. full team tryout. There was snow on the ground and we practiced inside. I remember briefly chatting with one of the players as she reset the balls for my hitting drill. She tried to connect over being from the same area, but I was so preoccupied with everything that was going on that I barely answered her questions, which later would be a hilarious point of contention because she turned out to be my very best friend, my biggest competitor, and the best support system I had had. That practice sealed the deal for my future and also my right shoe. It broke exactly 11 minutes into my campus tour, and I had to drag my foot for the rest of the day. Softball was a space I went to compete every day and challenge myself and those around me to be better on and off the field. We would circle up after every practice and share prayer requests, praises, and any A's with the group. Now, a group of 20 girls might not always be best friends, but in those moments we were one. We were celebrating each other, sometimes grieving with each other, and connecting so that on the field we played together. Those girls are such a huge part of my success. Without each and every one of them, we wouldn't have had the successes and lessons learned that we had. I learned how to follow and then how to lead. Being a captain and shouldering those responsibilities built skills in me that I still use today. Learning how to deal with a major injury and finding a new role on the team. That semester I couldn't touch a ball taught me more about the game and being a teammate than I had learned my entire career. When I found we were giving speeches, I lamented with Carissa, another inductee, about public speaking and what to say. So I thought I'd go back and ask 22-year-old Sarah what she thought. Here's what I wrote on my last day. As I lay in bed waiting for my final day of college softball to commence, I think back to all the memories. Some memories of triumphant wins and others of heart-wrenching losses, but those memories are faint compared to those left by my teammates. These women have influenced me for 4 years. I've played softball for 16, and every person I have encountered could not measure up to the people I have been surrounded by for the past 4. These people taught me so much about life and who I am and about the game. They have shown me how to step out on the field and have a new spark of passion every day for the game. Today, I leave it all on the field. Today will be my final memories of playing with these women. Today is the last day I can call myself a starting pitcher for the Judson University Eagles. As I look back, I'm so thankful that I was brought to Judson and had the opportunity to play a sport that I love while completing my college education. From 5 a.m. swim practices, 8-minute miles, pressure drills, hearing "get on the line," scrapes, cuts, bruises, screaming chants and losing your voice, hearing the sound of a ball hitting the bat for a home run, or the feeling of throwing the perfect third strike, this game has meant everything to me. Softball has always been will always have a place in my heart, along with the people who have journeyed alongside me. Today we stand in the top 3 of the NCCAA tournament. Today we play for the first Judson Softball National Championship. I can't imagine winning with any other people. Unfortunately, we placed 3rd, but I still think that we are champions. So yeah, I really want to thank Judson and my coaches and my teammates for all of the things that they taught me throughout the years. But there are also some non-softball folks to thank. Freshman year, a boy named Eric would confuse 2 lovely ladies. One was indeed in his chemistry class, and the other was definitely not. One had blondish hair with a ridiculous perm, that was me, and one had a short blunt platinum bob with purple underneath, which ironically we've switched over the years, and Mary's luscious locks are natural, not a perm. Mary and I knew each other, but ran in different circles. We would chat occasionally whenever she wasn't in the bottom of a haystack designing something. But at the end of senior year, Mary asked to grab some coffee. We chatted about life after Judson. I had no plans and nowhere to go. She offered her home. She said I could come stay with her family, and I knew I would never take her up on it. And we left coffee and didn't see each other again until her graduation, when she shouted through the crowd, "Look, Mom, look, Dad, that's Sarah, the one who doesn't have a place to go." Cut to a little while later. I'm tired of living in my car in the middle of a Midwest summer, and I call Mary, and she invites me to lunch. The Grubens have been my family for the last 12 years. They're the reason I've had any successes after Judson. They're the reason I have had any successes after Judson. I have a career because of them. I have sisters and brothers because of them. They have saved me more than once, and it's all because of Judson softball and a boy who couldn't remember faces. So, I just want to say thank you so much for the honor of being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the honor of playing at Judson. It truly means the world to me. Thank you.
Oh man, is she gone? Oh, Sarah, I just wanted to say this to you. I'm like a proud Gen Xer because I'm young enough to like not be intimidated by technology, but like old enough to still marvel at it. Like, this is amazing that we can feel your emotion and feel your appreciation through the screen. And I just appreciate you opening up. So thank you very much. One more time for Sarah. All right, to introduce our next inductee, please welcome to the stage Liz Simonelli.
Hello, my name is Liz Simonelli, and I am an alumnus, and it's really great to be back here at the Judd. I'm especially glad to be here to congratulate all of the inductees to the Judson Hall of Fame, but I have also been given the opportunity to introduce one inductee in particular, Carissa, or Carissa Hancock, or as you guys might know her as Carissa Olkey. I met Carissa during my last year here at Judson, where she was the grad assistant for the volleyball team. I had run out of my own eligibility and had become a student assistant for the team. What I expected to get out of my time was a consistent workout plan and experience on the coaching side of volleyball. But what I didn't expect was to meet Carissa. While I did not have the pleasure of playing alongside her here at Judson, Carissa's reputation spoke for herself. In the front row, she was a force who could not be stopped with an arsenal of attacks, and in the back row, the talents of any and knowledge of any seasoned defensive specialist. She was one of, if not the leader in almost every statistical category, and an imposing foe to meet across the net. We've played in many tournaments together since graduating, and I can tell you that I'm always very glad she's on my side. Quite often, we hear coaches talk about the intangibles of an athlete and what is not quantifiable by any statistic. An intangible part and what I think may be the most impactful part of Carissa's game is her tremendous character. She's a fierce competitor who has a drive and sheer will to win, but is also the type of teammate who will support you and helps you be the best possible version of yourself. She is someone who you want by your side in times of crisis and the first person you want to celebrate a win with. She has touched the lives of everyone she meets, both on and off the court, and is a true and worthy recipient of this honor here today. If it's not evident, I'm very proud of my best friend, my sister in Christ, and my absolute favorite volleyball player in the world. Please join me in welcoming Carissa Hancock.
Good morning, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here today, and I want to begin by thanking Judson University and the athletic department for this recognition. To stand here and be included among so many athletes and coaches who have left a legacy at this school is such a special moment and one that I will cherish. I would also like to take a moment to congratulate the other inductees, Sarah for her incredible accomplishments on the softball field, and Coach Benjamin for the lasting impact that he's made in the baseball program. It's such a privilege to be recognized alongside both of you. When I was deciding where to attend college, I knew I wanted more than just a place to play volleyball. I wanted a community and a place that felt like home. My first experience at Judson actually happened when I was in high school playing in an AAU basketball tournament. Even then, I remember walking around campus and feeling a sense of welcome, warmth, and community. That feeling stayed with me and played a big part in drawing me to Judson years later. From the moment I officially joined the volleyball team, that sense of belonging only grew stronger. My teammates became like family, my coaches became mentors, and my professors showed me that they cared about my growth both on and off the court. The athletic department went above and beyond to support every athlete, including myself. They weren't just organizing and scheduling events. They genuinely cared about our growth, our academics, and our well-being. I joke because I had other coaches welcome me into their off-season workouts. They offered me guidance. They were always at our volleyball team matches, and then some actually even trusted me to babysit their kids. So those small gestures made me feel like a part of the larger Judson family. Judson also gave me the opportunity to play additional sports. So as mentioned, I did do a season of track, but I was also on our JV basketball team for a season. These opportunities helped me grow as an athlete and connect with even more people across the campus. Later in my time at Judson, I served as a graduate assistant for the volleyball program. This role gave me the unique opportunity to give back to the program that had given me so much. One of my greatest gifts from my time at Judson has been the friendships that I've made. I met my best friend Liz while we were serving as assistants for the volleyball program. From the moment we met, we connected in a way that made the challenges of that role easier and the good moments even more memorable. Today, we continue to support each other through life's up and downs. We even stood by each other's side at each other's weddings as maid of honors. Liz, thank you for your friendship, your encouragement, and for being here to celebrate this day with me. We may not have played on the court at the same time at Judson, but we are teammates for life. The relationships and experiences I had at Judson made it more than just a school or a volleyball program. It became home. When I reflect about my time at Judson, there's a verse that immediately comes to mind. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, and I have kept the faith. That verse was shared with me during preseason my freshman year. I remember sitting in the locker room as our captain, Deb Legansky, was leading a pre-practice devotion. She explained how that verse was going to be the theme of our season. We even had it on our practice t-shirts that year. I remember feeling so inspired by this powerful verse, but at the time I thought it was just a message to motivate our team throughout the season. I didn't fully realize the depth of it. But as my collegiate career went on, I realized it was more than just a theme of my freshman year season. It was a guiding theme for the way I want to approach life. It was a daily reminder that success is not only measured in wins and losses, but in the fight, the perseverance, and the faith that we carry through every season of life. On the court, it reminded me to give everything I had, to show up to practices ready to work, to push through tough training, and to play for something bigger than myself. But beyond volleyball, it started to shape the way I looked at life. The fight wasn't about volleyball matches. It was about facing challenges with integrity. The race wasn't just a volleyball season schedule. It was the bigger journey of who I was becoming. And the faith was the reminder that through it all, my foundation had to be in Christ. That verse became my anchor here at Judson, and it's something that I carry with me every day. This honor is not mine alone. It belongs to so many people who have been a part of my journey. To my teammates, you made every practice, bus ride, and match unforgettable. You challenged me to be better, celebrated our victories, and lifted me up in tough moments. Beyond the court, you supported me in faith, encouraging me to trust in God through challenges and to lean on Him in every season. You taught me what true teamwork, resilience, friendship, and faith really mean. The bonds we built and the lessons we learned together are ones I will carry with me for a lifetime. To my volleyball coaches, Jill Pierce and Jill Rakosik, thank you for believing in me and for pushing me to reach my potential. You helped me grow not only as a player, but as a leader and a person. To my professors and the Judson community, thank you for investing in me as a student and as a person. Your guidance prepared me for life beyond volleyball, and I'm so grateful for the ways that you shaped my journey. To my parents, thank you for being my biggest supporters. and my greatest cheerleaders, from driving me to early practices and late night matches to encouraging me when things got tough and reminding me to stay grounded in faith. Your love and sacrifices made all of this possible. You taught me the value of hard work, perseverance, and integrity, and I wouldn't be standing here without you guys today. And above all, I want to thank God. Without his strength, his guidance, and his grace, I would not be standing here. Through every high and low, he reminded me of my purpose and gave me endurance to keep fighting the good fight. As I stand here today, I am filled with gratitude, not just for this honor, but for the journey that brought me here. Judson gave me a community, mentors, teammates, and experiences that shaped not only my athletic career, but my life. So again, thank you to Judson University, my family, my husband, Dave, teammates, professors, and friends for giving me the support, love, and encouragement to fight the good fight, finish the race, and keep the faith. Being a part of this Hall of Fame is not just a celebration of the past, it's a reminder to continue to live with purpose, gratitude, and heart for whatever comes next. Thank you.
Thank you, Carissa, for reminding us of the importance of relationships here at Judson. I know we all come here to play the sports we love. It's such a cool part of the Judson experience, but I know, I speak from experience, and I think Carissa reminded us, it's the relationships that we build that while we're here that you guys are going to remember for years to come. That's awesome. All right, now, my pleasure to introduce my friend, Tom Atamian, to introduce our next intern.
Move this way up when Rich gets here. I felt honored when Rich called me and wanted me to introduce him. That's all it was. I had no other guidelines on this. It's really because of Rich that I'm here at Judson at all. 15 years ago, he brought me on as a full-time assistant. I didn't know what that meant, because I just finished 16 years coaching high school men's baseball. Basically, March, April, May was your season. I wanted to quit after about the second week, and he took me in and kept me going. What doesn't show up in the stats, which are pretty amazing for a coach, is what's behind the scenes of what makes him, I think, a great coach. I'm not sure about legendary yet, but a great coach. And there's two people that know what went behind the scenes, Casey, his wife, and me, and the amount of hours and time he spent. What also isn't on here is his desire that we have a GPA for the team above a 3-point, which we did actually get there as a baseball team. Evan got some work to do on that. I'm kidding. I was excited that, well, many of you know Coach Benjamin was here during the golden years of Judson baseball. All the teams in conference, if they could beat one team in the year, it was Judson. And I was privileged to be a part of a team that had 40-plus wins every year I coached. Went to the postseason every year I coached. I think I might be the winningest assistant coach at Judson University, thanks to Rich. But above all, he had a deep love and value for all of his players. I could see it every day in the way he cared about them. We had more study tables than any other sport in the history of this school. My wife was available because, as an English major, helping our baseball players write papers, and she was the writing assistant for that. So, but more than anything else, he exhibited for all of us his love for Jesus. He showed that on and off the field. It's what really grounded our baseball team. He had a gift for the big wins and the big losses to be able to speak words of grace to the team. And so I feel honored to present to you Rich Benjamin. Come on, Rich.
Tom, thank you for that introduction, and I am so grateful for our relationship. There's no man that's impacted my walk with Christ more than you have. I know that there was moments where you wished the transformation would happen faster, when I selfishly made a team run after a game, which was not from the Spirit, it was from selfishness, or driving in a snowstorm to Freed Hardman, a blizzard in which we were passing 18-wheelers on the road in the ditch right after we left campus, not an hour into the trip, you can't turn around. Our first baseman texting his now wife and saying, "It's been a good run, and I wish you well." And so thank you. No one's given me a clearer understanding of the gospel. It was 3 years after I left Judson University that I got a full revelation into what you were teaching. And it transformed my entire life. It made me a better coach. It impacted the programs that I coached. And I'll be forever grateful for the eternal impact that you've had on my life. Thank you. Okay. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee. It's not lost on me that everybody here wears a lot of hats and there's a lot of hours. It's a labor of love. It's challenging, and yet the fruit is incredibly fruitful and rewarding. Thank you to the Hoffer Foundation, Bill and Alex Hoffer, who graciously have continued to financially support the baseball program year after year. And that relationship took time to cultivate, but they've been incredibly supportive, and we're thankful for them. Nancy Binger, the athletic director that hired me when I was 27 years old, should not have been in charge of anything. And she took a chance on me and allowed me to make mistakes and to have moments of success. She was a tremendous leader, a go-getter, anything can happen, anything can work. She could be graciously confrontational that way, and she allowed me to enter her office nearly every day. And she said, "You can walk in here and you can complain, you can say that things need to be better, whatever, but you have to leave with a solution." And so it was never a victim mentality with her. She provided hope every day and really laid the foundation for our success. Ginny Guth, our registrar, who read hundreds of transcripts while I sat in her office, finding ways to say thank you, showing up at 5 o'clock when she's supposed to head out the door and say, "I only need an answer about this in the next 5 minutes." And I always felt like one of Judson University's strengths was attracting and supporting first-generation college students. And so we had players on the team that were first-generation college students, and Jenny Guth was a tremendous support in all of that. Roberto Santizo was our financial aid director at the time. I was in his office all the time when I went ahead and spent the resources that we had, but needed to have just one more player on the roster. My undergrad degree is in English. I would walk in there and say, "Roberto, I'm not good with numbers, but I think you can make money off of this, and this person can really impact the university." And Roberto would say to me, "Rich, you know enough about numbers to know what you're doing right now." And so the late Dr. Stuart Ryder. Every place needs somebody who is willing to give all of themselves for that place, or it doesn't work. that was Dr. Stuart Ryder. And he was such a gracious supporter with his time, his wisdom, his jokes, taking you out for meals, and with his finances. My favorite moment was we had this, when I first arrived, we had this one batting cage by the dugout. It wasn't more than maybe 45 feet. It was caving in, and it wasn't safe, so we really didn't use it. And I went to Nancy Binger's office, and I said, we need batting cages. And she said, well, you have one. So that weekend, I tore it down. And that Monday, I went in the office and said, we don't have a batting cage. And so she said, well, you're going to have to figure that out. And I went to Stuart Ryder. I said, we need batting cages, and explained the whole situation and everything. But I think he had caught wind that weekend I tore down the old batting cage in probably a very unhealthy condition of my heart in that moment at that time. And he let me sweat it for a few days. And late in the week, he reached out and was like, I'll support the batting cages, and got those installed. And he was always so gracious and tremendous. The late Nate Habercorn, who attended Judson University and has passed too soon, and the late Chris Lucius. Our assistant coaching staff, for 8 years, they were all volunteers. It cost them money to be here. And they put in so many hours, cared desperately for the players. And if there was one skill set that I lacked tremendously during my time at Judson and my first 2 years at Indiana Wesleyan, I had breakthrough in my third year at Indiana Wesleyan in this area, was knowing how to mentor, facilitate a coaching staff. And that was a skill set I simply did not have at that time. And so I'm really grateful for everything that they did to provide an opportunity for our players, both on and off the field. They went above and beyond, got very little recognition for it, and we couldn't have done anything without that support, so thank you. Our players, man, they were fun. They were fun, incredibly hardworking. As a young head coach, you don't understand what workload management is. That's not something you know at that time. We had insane workouts, insane training sessions. We ran 8 different lifting groups through the weight room each day. We did workouts that would take me 20 minutes to unpack right now, in which your legs never rebounded from. Some of it was crazy. Some of it was really productive. But they were an incredible group. Every one of them. They accepted the challenge of the classroom. They explored their faith. They worked hard. They played for each other. And it was the most rewarding part of the job for myself and my wife, Casey, and the rest of our staff, sharing meals together. And, in the NAI, you're not allowed to buy things for your players, and our staff and I, we broke those rules. Sorry. We bought books and teeth and meals and you name it. This was our family. And we were grateful to be able to invest every part of our person into this for the 8 years that we were here. One of the saddest parts is trying to reconcile leaving. And when you leave and you move away from home, you lose connection. And you get busy in your own lives and everything else. And it can be really challenging, but this was our family. And it was fully invested. Our players were incredible, and I'm really thankful. To my parents, who have taught me work ethic and empathy, my mom is the gift of kindness. When it shows up in me, it's because of her. My dad is the gift of work ethic and was never afraid to take on a challenge. And then my wife, Casey, who during our first 5 years here did not have any children as part of a 6.5-year journey to have our child, Ty, who sits here as well. And so for those first 5 years, when you're going through the challenges of desiring a family, but you don't yet have one. We really redirected our hearts and our efforts into the Judson community, the players, FCA, which started during that time, and it was incredible. And so, Casey, thank you for investing everything. Having 5 crock pots go on at the same time, figuring out the finances of that, having 25 people come and hang out in a 2-bedroom apartment in West Dundee, setting up meals up above the cafeteria at night after home games while the lights were still on and we could look over the field while the team ate. The conversations in which you were able to pull players aside and say, and just talk to them about their girlfriends, and their grades and their life. And you were always a safe space for them where I held their playing time and it was harder to get full transparency, and you filled that gap. And you've been a rock the whole time, and thank you. Appreciate it. What I love most about baseball is the transformational process. I love the opportunity to just bring a group in, individuals and the entire group together, and just watch what happens and navigate it and strategically make decisions and processes to help the individual grow and help the group move towards each other and to play for each other. That was the most rewarding part. Those journeys were incredible. Bringing in first-generation college students. In some cases, I'm reminded of Chris Simon, who came here from Roberto Clemente High School, gave his life during his freshman year here to Christ. I remember taking him out to lunch 2 days after he gave his life to Christ. And what came out of him was like the entire New Testament. And he hadn't read the whole thing yet, And I was like, wow, that's the Holy Spirit at work. And him and so many others that have laid down great foundations for their lives, and they really crushed it in their time after Judson. I'll wrap up with this. Sorry, it's challenging to process 8 years at one time. Tom shared maybe the most foundational piece of advice with me over and over and over again. It took a long time for that revelation to hit home. But I would meet with Tom, and I would say, Tom, I'm stressed out about this game coming up. I'm stressed out about this or that and everything else. And Tom would be like, it's just baseball. And I would just look at him like, you're wrong. And but then Tom would say this. He would say, Rich, everything in life exists, everything, including the baseball field. Everything in life exists for the purpose of transforming you more and more into the image of Christ. The baseball field provides the mountaintop experiences, the valleys, and everything in between, for the purpose that in all of those things, that we would take those circumstances and challenge ourselves to get before the Lord and say, how can I receive and understand your love in what's happening right now? And then the second piece is, Lord, how do you desire to be revealed through me in this circumstance right now? And the reality is, everything exists for the purpose of transformation. We were created in his image. What we lost was the image. What he came and he sacrificed for was to restore the image. And as that revelation became more and more true and did not come to fruition until 3 years after here, it was so freeing. And so I guess I just challenge us with that truth. Is at the end of the day, this is fun. At the end of the day, it all exists for the purpose of becoming closer to him and revealing him. And the last thing I'd like to share is to our players who have kids, who have kids on the way or kids in the future. And if you see this, you can share it with them when they're teenagers. Your dads are good men. Your dads are good men. I have evidence of it. I've seen them be brave. I've seen them have courage. I've seen their work ethic. They are good men. And they will strive to provide and to provide wisdom and to be available, and they will continue to grow and transform more and more each day to be a better version of your dad. And so, thank you, Judson, for this opportunity, and thank you.
Two things I must say after that. One, and I know, Coach, you're going to give me some grace for this because you're a competitor like me, but I've already done the math, and as I step into my first year as a coach here, I have to go undefeated for 10 years in a row to match what you've done. That is daunting. And the other thing I must say is, Evan, there's about 5% of that speech I'd like you to ignore. Don't do anything with our batting cages, and don't buy our guys anything. That would be great. But thank you guys so much for coming. This has been exactly what we hoped it would be, just a day to honor and celebrate what's behind us as far as legacy left by so many people, but also a reminder of what is possible and what we want you guys striving for as our current athletes. I want to give us some context into the rest of the day. All of our award recipients and their families are invited to join us starting soon here at 11:30 at Streamwood High School. We're going there for our homecoming football game, but we'll have a sort of a VIP space, and all of you guys are welcome there. And then at 1 o'clock, the game will commence, and then at halftime of that game, we will honor you guys again. So even if you have other plans, I know that happens all the time, you have other things you want to do, we would really greatly appreciate if you'd go and then come back, meet us at that football game, at least by halftime, to just, be honored again by a bigger audience that sort of puts an exclamation point on the day, okay? Yeah, and I just always like to end. I kind of have alluded to it the entire time, but I just want to end one more time by reminding all of you guys that, you guys are current athletes, current coaches, and the word competition often gets misconstrued into being about what happens when you go against someone else. But it actually just means to come together and strive for. And so I encourage us to lock in with our teammates, lock in with our coaches, and look at the people around you and the opportunity that you have to do sports together, to do life together, to do college together. And if you do that well enough, if you make that the lamp unto your feet, it will help you with the light into your path, to where you're trying to go, which is hopefully maybe one day being honored at an event like this. So again, thank you guys all for coming. We appreciate you all, and we hope you will all join us at 1 o'clock at the football game. Thank you.